Hello and welcome or welcome back. My name is Shaunneka and today I'll be guiding you through a morning yin yoga routine. So this sequence is of course for your morning, but you can also do it at any time of day. If you're really looking to reap the benefits of a yin practice, doing yin first thing in the morning is really beneficial because the body is still cold and it just allows for a little bit of the tighter pull on those ligaments. So it will help to increase your flexibility over time. And for today's practice, I will be offering a variation on toe squat, so you may or may not decide to use a block, and if you do, just have one handy. So we will go ahead and get started, and I do hope you enjoy. So our first pose will be a toe squat. So finding your tabletop position, just having that block handy in case you decide to use it. So from your tabletop position, you're going to tuck your toes under, and bear your weight back onto your heels, dragging your pinky toes forward. So in the last morning video, I offered the option where you can bring one foot in the front and halfway through you can switch to the other foot. For today, the other option is to place the block underneath your bum. And that also helps to alleviate some of the pressure being placed onto your heels. So just close the eyes here. Nice deep breaths. Maybe take a few neck rotations. Really trying to exaggerate the movement. And switching directions. And also I forgot to mention, if you don't have a block, you can also fold up a pillow and place it there as well. Coming into our last few breaths here. Let's take our last two breaths here. Nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently opening the eyes if they were closed. Remove the block or the pillow if you had it. And just come back onto your palms, finding that tabletop. And tuck the toes. You can rotate the ankles, wiggle the toes. Maybe extend one leg back and the other. And we'll counter stretch that now. So bringing your toes, so your toenails are pressing into the floor or into the mat, and you're sitting your weight back onto your heels. So you might already be feeling a stretch here just below the knee, top of the shin, top of the foot. If you want a little bit more, you can bring your hands beside you and gently begin to lift your knees towards your chest. Just for 3 breaths. Let's inhale here. And lower on the exhale. Rock forward and untuck the toes. Should feel really, really nice. And from here we will be moving into dangling. So we're going to bring our feet behind our wrists. And you want your feet about 2 fists width distance or just about as wide as your hips. So you want to keep a generous bend in your knee. And then you want to just allow the belly to drape over the thighs. Allow the arms to be heavy. Allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears. And then last, drop the head. So it's really imperative in this pose that you let the head go. Really feeling that nice release in the cervical spine. And if at any time it's too much to let the head go, if you have that block handy, you can always rest your forearms on the block. Making fists, placing them in the eyes of your elbows also helps. Really taking nice deep breaths into the low back. If you could imagine a hand on your low back on every inhale, you should feel the hand move away. Coming into our last few breaths here. Let's take our last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale, fill up. Really feel your belly pushing away on your thighs, and exhale. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Gently from here, sprinkle your fingertips onto the floor and lift the gaze. We're going to make our way into Malasana squat. So shimmy your hips from side to side. And you want to bring your bum all the way down, making sure your knees are pointing in the same direction as your toes. Maybe to start off, you're rocking from side to side here. Eventually finding a moment of stillness. I like to hold on to the corners of my mat and use my elbows to push into the top of my knees. Last few breaths here. Let's take our last 2 breaths here. Nice big inhale, fill up. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. So maybe you reach your hands forward and just round through the back a bit. And from here, bring our hands in front of us, push our hips up, and then just bring our knees to the floor. And shimmy the hips from side to side. Maybe take a few cat-cow. And from here, we'll take a nice, relaxing child's pose. So bringing your knees nice and wide, big toes to touch at the back, and then send your hips back into that saddle you've created with your feet. And you might notice you feel a little looser, a little bit more open because of the Malasana squat. So for today, we're going to bring our elbows to the floor, bringing your hands to prayer. Walk your elbows a little bit forward again, and then bring your forehead to the floor and your palms up above. So your fingertips are pointing towards the ceiling. And then again, further inchworm your elbows forward and then pull back. So you're pulling the skin of your elbows back, feeling a nice stretch in the underarm and the tricep. You can leave your palms pointing towards the ceiling, or you place palm on palm just below the neck. Last few breaths here. Let's take our last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale. A nice clearing exhale. Inhale. And sigh it out. Release the hands from up above if you had them there. And then we're going to come all the way forward onto our bellies. So right away, let's bring your feet about mat's width distance. You're going to cactus your right arm and then bring your elbow slightly higher than your shoulder. And when you come down, you want to make sure that your shoulder isn't shrugged up by your ear. So draw your shoulder away from your ear first. Bring your right temple to the mat. Bend your left knee. Spider your left fingertips and roll right onto your right side. So this is a little bit more intense. We won't be here for as long. Feeling a nice opening, the top of the shoulder, the chest, the inseam of the arm, the bicep. can keep that knee pointing towards the ceiling, or you can drop the knee, bending both knees. Last few breaths here. Last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale. And sigh it out. Again, inhale. And exhale. So if you had that left knee pointing towards the ceiling, bend it, close it, straighten both legs, and gently roll all the way back onto your belly. Just to give yourself some time here, you can bend your left elbow and place your forehead on your left palm. Just keeping your right hand where it is for a moment. If it feels good, you can wiggle the fingers, and you can bring that right hand down by your side. And we'll go ahead and do this on the other side. So let's cactus the left arm, and then just bring the elbow a little bit higher than your left shoulder. Spread your fingers nice and wide, and your palm is pressing into the floor. Bring your left temple to the floor, and just making sure you're drawing your shoulder away from your ear first. Bring your left temple to the mat. Spider your right fingertips beside you. Bend your right knee, using your right fingertips to help roll you right over onto your left side. And then your right knee points towards the ceiling. And just keep in mind, this is first thing in the morning, so if your knee is not pointing towards the ceiling and it feels more comfortable to bend both knees, then do that. Last few breaths here. Let's take our last 2 breaths, nice big inhale, fill up. And sigh it out. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Bend the knees closed. Roll right onto your belly. Bring your right palm in front of your forehead and let the forehead rest on the palm, leaving your left hand where it is for a moment. From here, bring your left hand down by your side. Maybe shimmy your hips from side to side. From here, we're going to come into our final pose, which will be a Sphinx. So bringing your legs as wide as your mat, if not wider. Coming up onto your forearms. So you can bring your palms directly in front of you. Elbows are in line with your shoulders. Your shoulders are in line with your elbows. And then pull your elbows back to your hips. And when I do that, you notice that my chest comes a little bit forward and through. And if this is too much pressure on the elbows, you can bring your hands to prayer as well. And everything below the waist is nice and relaxed. Nice, big belly breaths. On every inhale, feeling the belly push away into the mat. Feeling free to take some neck rotations here. Maybe you sway your head from side to side like a pendulum. Very gently. Last few breaths here. Maybe for these last few breaths, you'd like to come into a full seal. By doing so, you turn your palms to the top corners of your mat and straighten your elbows. And again, everything below the waist is nice and relaxed. take our last 2 breaths. And when you're taking these breaths, really try to bring all that breath right up underneath your armpits. Nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And let it go. Gently coming down onto your forearms. Stack palm on palm and let the forehead rest. From here, gently open the eyes, coming onto our back. We'll take a brief twist from here, so draw the knees in towards the chest, gently rock, and we'll drop both knees to the right and gaze to the left. Come back through center, and we'll go to the other side, so dropping both knees to the left, gaze to the right. Come back through center. We'll take our double wind relieving pose. So lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Draw your knees in towards your chest. You can grab onto your knees or wrap your arms around your knees or grab onto your feet. You're going to squeeze into a nice tight ball for 3, for 2. One last breath, inhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale, release. So you can bring your legs out wide, arms out wide for your Savasana. For today, I'm going to bring my feet as wide as the mat and let my knees knock in. And really just taking these moments to set your intention for the day. And always remembering to show yourself some gratitude for showing up, for practicing, and for these morning practices, I always like to come up with a word, an intention for my day. And my word will be patience. And patience for myself. Maybe it's the time of year. that's something I need to remind myself of. So feeling free to stay here for as long as you like. I hope you enjoyed this morning practice. And if you did set an intention, or maybe you came up with a word, let me know in the comments. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you back here again soon.